Alright, good evening folks, and welcome back to Wilderness Wargaming. So tonight we're going to take a quick look at the 40 Years of Warhammer Vyper Jetbike video. It came out from Warhammer Community about 2 weeks ago. I didn't catch it at the time, but I do want to look at this one because I remember when the Vyper came out and when I first got my first one and my second one. It was 1997, second edition. I was a senior in college, and this was the first time that Craftworlds, which at the time were my main army, got a vehicle bigger than a regular single rider jet bike of any kind. So let's take a look.
On its release, the Vyper Jetbike blew every other vehicle out of the water with its style, level of detail, and its sheer ambition. The Vyper also heralded a new age of more dynamic, larger vehicles, a world away from the boxy utilitarian war machines of the Imperium.
Well, it certainly did for the Craftworlds, because it, like I said before, it gave us the first vehicle bigger than a single rider, but followed very, very closely by the Falcon. So that actually made the Craftworlds more of a complete army. Before that, despite the Craftworlds elves themselves being pretty fast, a lot of your units were remarkably slow on the tabletop, especially the way the movement rules worked in second edition. Swooping hawks and warp spiders that could kind of teleport all over the place, and of course the bikes, but no vehicles, no transports, nothing like that. There was at the time rules for, although I don't believe there's ever a model for, a type of Vyper that rather than having the big gun on the back, you could put like what they call the fighting platform back there, and supposedly like a Farseer or I think maybe a Warlock too could ride back there and do their thing from the back of the bike. And I don't remember too well. I don't have my second edition codex anymore. I just remember there being an option like that. There's a big joke that maybe there should be a version where the Avatar could ride on the back of it too.
The Vyper looked entirely different to anything else on the tabletop at the time, and this aerodynamic design, featuring the first clear plastic canopy, has proved so enduring that it's still in use today, albeit with some additional weapons options. Since the Vyper Jetbike's release, it has inspired many of the Eldari designs that have followed it. Its big cousin, the mighty Falcon.
Yeah, the Falcon came not very long after it. And since then we've gotten all the other Falcon hull-based ones like the Wave Serpent, the Night Spinner, the Fire Prism. Of course, some of the Forge World designs are even bigger, but still throw back to that same aesthetic with the twin bows that they have. One thing that I don't know is really true is that it's gotten more weapon options. As I recall best from back then, you could put any of the heavy weapons on the turret on the back, although back then the Bright Lance was not available. It was a las cannon. It was still the same weapon, but it was called a las cannon, just like the Imperial version. The Star Cannon was called a plasma cannon. The Bright Lance was actually a war gear card. That was a type of war gear, kind of like a relic that you could give to a character.
Tank, the Swift Warwalker, and even Harley.
The Warwalker, yeah. So the Warwalker, when I came back to playing again, it was the new Warwalker was a nice surprise. The old one, I still have one of the metal ones. Despite the larger base, I still like the new one a lot better. I especially like the fact the pilot's covered up and not just out there hanging in the breeze like he did in the old one. Second edition rules made these really risky to employ because although there was supposedly a force field protecting the pilot, the way the vehicle rules worked back then, you could take a hit right on the Guardian pilot and you could lose the whole vehicle because of your toughness 3 5-up save Guardian getting killed while driving it.
Quinn's vehicles, their lineage back to this iconic kit.
Yeah, so that's a pretty good little summary of it. Kind of makes it look like an ad for it. But this is one kit that despite its age, so 1997, this is 2023. It's coming up on 26 years old. I don't think they really need to refresh this one, or the Falcon for that matter. I think it looks pretty good still. It probably could use tightening up, maybe if they were going to redo it on the way the rider in the back, the way the gun mounts on. I've never been a huge fan of that. But other than that, I don't think it really needs a refresh that bad. It's still a very good little model. It's the right size. No big issues with it, and I hope it sticks around for many years to come. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment down below. If you happen to have been around when the Vyper or the Falcon came out and were playing the game back then, please let me know. I'd really like to hear from you. And click the notifications bell for more great content from Wilderness Wargaming, and I hope to see you again real soon.